Hey, everybody. How's it going? Um, Linda, here's an idea. First, make him drink lots of water with as much lemon juice in it as he can stand. Because kidney stones are usually made up of minerals in the body, and lemon juice will help dissolve minerals. Then, if you have castor oil, put it, wash his back, put castor oil, rub castor oil into where the pain is, put a plastic sheet over it like shrink wrap, and then a towel and a heating pad. Okay? Castor oil is proven to break up many foreign bodies. Hey, Wendy! Water with lemon juice. Absolutely. How's it going? I'll wait, give a few minutes for everybody to come in. It's been I've had a good day. I had a good day. Had a nice long talk with my sister on the phone. Hey, Wendy. Hey, you made it. Awesome. In a few minutes, when everyone's in, I'll tell everybody to say hi then, and then I can get you all on my participants list. That, of course, is also, if you don't want to be seen or recognized, or you're just shy, you don't have to do that. Okay. That's just for the folks that want me to say hello and hear their name shouted out because they know I love them. Hey, Kathy, how's it going? You just got your power back 5 minutes ago. So this is from the hurricane, eh? Yeah, we've been praying for folks in the path of Hurricane Helen, that's for sure. Hello, Kathy. Okay, I'm going to give you another couple minutes to come in. And I had a really lovely talk with my sister. We were talking about, how people say forgive and forget? Well, just a minute. Everybody. Oh, wow. Canning zucchini and making chicken soup. Are you canning it in slices and water, or are you canning it grated like I do? Hey, Wendy, Tigger bouncing. All right, give me another minute, and then I will. Gotta fix my teeth. All right. Everybody say hello if you feel comfortable. Hi, honey. Howie walked in the house and said hello. Everybody say hello. Those who feel comfortable doing so. For a couple of days for work, and I'm making meals. Oh, that's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. And when I stop seeing people saying hello, that's when I'll pop out the participants list and say hi back. And it looks like everybody has heads. Not quite. Come on, everybody doesn't say hello? Okay, let's pop out. The participants list. And say hello to Angela M. And I'm really glad you got your power back on and everybody's safe and sound in your neck of the woods. Barbara Webb, Barefoot Chickens, Big Rams Marnie, where have you been? We haven't seen you in months. Hi, Kimmy Blackrock. Seashell, aloha, my muscle sister. Connie Watts, Dottie May, hey. Hey, Helen. Hey, Just Me, Candy, Kathy Ponder, Lena K. There's another Lena with a Lena B, I think. Linda Bop, Michelle Jones, Ninja Clan Kathy, Tigger Bouncing Wendy, Tina Elliott, Wendy I, my sister, and Yellow Bird Up High in Banana Tree. Gracie wants to be recognized. Of course. She had scratched. You can see a dark streak here by her eye. She had scratched the lens on her eye. And I'll tell you what, I put some castor, I looked it up and I put some castor, just a drop, and it started to heal immediately. It's not so irritated now, is it, Booby? Is it too good? Look over there and say hi to everybody. Auntie Linda's waiting. Auntie Wendy's waiting. Look, hey, Mona Lisa, smile. Mona Lisa. Mona Lisa. Now, there it is. She gave you the Mona Lisa smile. Oh, you're so sweet. You're so sweet. Yes, you are, mama baby. Did you go zooming outside? And we notice now when we look in her pupils, they're looking, it's the inside of her eyes are starting to look a bit cloudy. Oh, that's probably why she scratched her eye. She didn't see the branch or something, eh? I love you. I really do. Thank you. Where you go? Howie has finished the downstairs, everything except the back guest bedroom that has to be unloaded. But I'm going to be I'm going to make the trip down the stairs. I have been invited to try and make the trip down the stairs to see the work he's done. He actually brought in the easy chair. Like he's moved back in the house because he no longer needs air conditioning. Right. So I'm invited to go down and look, and I'm going to take the camera. No. Hey. Thanks, Shell. We're lucky. So many, not so much. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, Joe Mama. How you doing, baby? So, yeah, I went out and harvested the carrots. And you'll see that on tomorrow's video. That's tomorrow's video. And on our half acre homestead. Right. So I had that hurt. That hurt the shoulders and the knees. Had a lovely phone visit with my sister today. And we got talking about forgiveness and you know, how people say, oh, forgive and forget, live and let live. Well, yeah, there's live and let live. But forgive and forget is a really deceptive phrase. Because forgiveness doesn't mean, when you forgive somebody, it doesn't mean what they did to you is made okay by your forgiveness. What forgiveness means personally for me is that I can let go of the resentment because it's not hurting anybody but myself. And forgiveness means letting go and no longer allowing that person, place, or thing to dictate how you feel from that day forward. Because when you think about it, when we have anger and we have resentments and we have hurt feelings, okay, we are the ones that are suffering the most. Even if somebody else has caused those feelings of hurt, anger, or resentment, even if somebody else has caused those feelings, right? And hey, we all, nobody's perfect. There's two sides to every story. And so I learned a really powerful lesson recently. And it just means that whatever I was angry at, hurt about, or whatever can be let go. And I'm no longer going to let those negative feelings dictate my, my feelings about it from that day forward. That's forgiveness. Forgiveness is forgiving them and yourself for mistakes and no longer allowing those feelings to dictate how you go forward. Does that make sense? So that was, I've said it before, but I have to remind myself, you got to remember, folks, I'm a sober alcoholic. Okay. I don't, I often have to relearn lessons over and over again because I'm stubborn. Right. And that's another thing we were talking about, how the misconception that people think alcoholics are of weak character. because they can't just quit, right? Alcoholism is a disease. And most of the most of the alcoholics I've ever met, including myself, are extremely strong-willed and stubborn. And that's why it took us so long to get help. Why? Because we could do it. We had the will. If we only had the willpower, it's bullshit. You turn that stuff over to your creator, right? You turn that stuff over to your creator and you let him deal with the demons, right? It doesn't, forgive and forget does not mean making it okay, making what happened okay. And forgetting doesn't mean it didn't happen. Forgetting means, you've handed the pain over and you're moving forward. That's forgetting. It's not, so the words are pretty deceptive. People take a lot of phrases nowadays way out of context. My husband was a bad alcoholic and he was his own man. He had to do it in his own time. At the time of his death, he was 20 years sober. Oh, Stacy, that's amazing. Wendy is going to be celebrating, is it 40 years, Wendy? On November 5th. And everybody knows how I see. And I choose to say I'm sober from alcohol because everybody knows I medicate with marijuana, right? Don't do opiates. I can't. I'm allergic. I think God or my higher power, creator, whatever you want to call him. Hi, Journey. How are you, darling? He was a functional alcoholic on top of that. He did 25 years in the U.S. Navy, worked at the Sheriff's Department as a 911 dispatcher when he got sober. Oh, my God. That's amazing. That's amazing. I forgot what I was saying. I think my higher power, my creator, I'm an alcoholic. And even worse than alcoholism, the harder thing to give up was cigarettes. And it's been like 14 years since I had a cigarette, 27 years since I had a drink, right? But I am allergic to opiates, codeine, morphine, Demerol, heroin, all of it. I'm allergic to it. So I think my creator said, you know what? She's an alcoholic and man, kicking those smokes are going to be really hard. Let's just make her allergic to opiates. So she doesn't even have to deal with that. You know what I mean? I would have a surgery and then I would use a pain medication and it would work. And Demerol never worked, not even with when I got my tonsils out as a kid. But it would work for the surgery and then it wouldn't work again the next time. So they had to keep switching me up from Demerol to morphine, to all these different things that's eventually stopped working and made me very sick. November 15th will be 1 year of no cigarettes. Bravo, Marnie. Bravo. My dad was an alcoholic. I remember many days as a kid waiting in a car as he drank in a bar, but was the most incredible father ever. No one ever said alcoholics were bad people. Okay? They're diseased people. And if after 27 years, I even think about having a drink, even if the thought just whispers past my brain, I remember some friends, some people in the program who went out after many years of sobriety. Some almost died, and many never got contented sobriety again. So to me, it's not worth even entertaining the thought, right? You know what, Sherry? I don't drink soda anymore either. I was down to getting my little bottles of Coca-Cola at Christmas time, just a little thick pack to share because they're in glass bottles. Last year, I got 4 bottles of Mexican Coca-Cola because they use cane syrup in it. But I've since found out that um, they're finding nanotechnology in Coca-Cola and Pepsi. Do your own research. Do your own research. But that's what I saw. So, and I went down a rabbit hole on that one. So I don't drink pop at all anymore because I don't trust any of it. Besides, I've got so many flavored teas that I can make any kind of juice I want. Like, I can make green jasmine tea with mint, put it over ice. It's so much better, right? It's in everything. I saw it also. You hear a woodpecker? Not here, you don't. Probably Howie. I always say that I'm a smoker, but I haven't smoked since 92. Good for you, Kathy. Yeah, cigarette. Yeah, Kathy. Cigarettes was my monster. Cigarettes was my monster. Quitting alcohol was easy compared to quitting smoking. It took me 4 years of serious battling because I got bronchial pneumonia so bad that when my God bless them, my cousin Dee Dee phoned me and I was laying in bed and she said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm really sick." She said, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. What, do you got the flu?" And I said, "Yeah, probably." And then I said, "Just a minute, I'm going to sit up." And when I sat up, I couldn't breathe. It was like fluid or something just went down and I was just coughing and she said, "Bev, hang up. Hang up. I'm going to phone Vanessa to come and get you and take you to the clinic." So they took me to the walk-in clinic. I didn't have to wait. I was coughing so bad I must have been turning blue. And they got me up on the gurney and the doctor looked at me and I was coughing so bad that I peed my pants on the examination table. And he said, "You are going to die if you don't quit smoking." And he gave me 3 prescriptions for the step down patch, which, a month on this and 10 days or 2 weeks on this and 10 days on that, whatever. And I had to have prednisone. Prednisone. It was an antibiotic. I don't know what it was. I can't remember what it was called. And puffer, 2 different puffers. And even 10 days on the medication, I went for the full 10 days. I still, it took me an additional month to break out of that bronchitis. And I still smoked after that. I smoked and then I quit about 10 days after I got rid of the bronchitis. I quit smoking. And then I had a couple of slips. The last one was when I crashed the Acura. I rode off the Acura. And I'm in shock and getting help coming out of a 8-foot deep ditch where I took out a tree. My car looked like a squash Pepsi can, like this. It looked like it went like that. And I was black and blue. Didn't feel a thing. Thank God for airbags and seatbelts. I'm telling you. But anyway, the lady who pulled me up out of the ditch and called the ambulance sat me down in her passenger side because there was no shoulders on those roads. And she put her flashers on and she had Tim Hortons she had a cigarette in her hand. I said, "You got another one of those?" She said, "Yeah, you want a coffee with it?" She had a spare Tim Hortons coffee, handed me a cigarette and a coffee. And I smoked 2 cigarettes, like I tell you, within 5 minutes. And then when I went back to work after, the whiplash and the bruising and everything subsided, I would go out in the smoking area with folks and take a puff now and then. And when I got to the point where I was thinking of going across the street to the general store to get a pack of cigarettes, I immediately phoned Howie at work and confessed that I had been smoking, but I hadn't bought any cigarettes. And so that was the last time I ever smoked. Thanks be to God. I'm worrying with myself now over nicotine. You'll get there, baby. Sent you a fresh picture of Percy. Who's Percy? Is it a problem for you at our Journey homestead? Not everyone has a drink, isn't an alcoholic. No, not everyone who drinks is an alcoholic. No, absolutely not. And I knew people who could make a pack of cigarettes last 2 weeks. Cousin Vanessa comes to mind. And so, and her sister, when we were in Florida, her treat to herself was to buy, cigarettes, and she'd smoke on vacation and quit when she went home. It was like, I couldn't do that. You know what I mean? You're welcome, sweetheart. I do drink a lot less, but I should quit altogether. Only you, Kimmy, only you can decide when you've had enough. You can, if you are in an addiction, or even just thinking you should quit something, whether you're addicted or not, right? You can't do it for anybody else. You can't do it for your health. You can't do it for your doctor. You can't do it for your kids. You can't do it for your spouse. You have to know when your soul speaks to your heart and your mind and says, I've had enough. I want to live. It's that simple. It's that simple. You can't do it for any other reason than you've had enough, that you're sick of it. And you've had enough. You can't do it any other way. I mean, I know people who have quit for other people, but I mean, Howie quit, I don't know how many times for me. And the last time we went back out drinking, it was my fault because I wanted to drink and I talked him into it. Right. But he couldn't quit for me. And I couldn't quit for him. I had to leave home so that I could get sober for myself. Right. And Howie did the same. We got back together 6 weeks later, but it was a lot of work because I had told Howie I was never coming home, but I'll get sober. Good for you. Good for you, honey. You do that, but I'm doing this for me. And so, that was our journey. And take, one day at a time, we've been sober over 27 years. So it's, I found meetings helped me. Well, meetings helped. Ads will run shortly for some viewers. If you get an ad, run and get a cup of tea. I won't say anything important. I'll go behind the fan. Oh, my knees. It's going to take everything I got to go down the basement, but I want to go down and see what he's done. And he's moved back in the house. Guess what that means? It means he gets pancakes for breakfast tomorrow. Hey, Bum Fluff! How's it going, sweetheart? Russia was really, Bev, I wish it really was that simple. I'd be sober now for 30 years if it was. It's not. I didn't say it was simple. Okay, yeah, I did, didn't I? I said it's that simple. You will quit when you've had enough and no other time, right? But if ever I can be of any assistance, Journey, you email me at You email me, and I can promise you one thing. Nothing you tell me will ever go beyond me. Okay? I'm there for you. I'm not a professional. I'm not a therapist. I'm nothing. But I am an alcoholic. And if you want to talk, we can do that. Okay? We can do that. So you email me, and don't you ever be afraid of telling me anything that's in your heart, because I'll be there for you to the best of my ability, because that's the job of every sober person who has been through a 12-step program, is to be responsible. I am responsible. When anyone, anywhere reaches out for help, I want my hand, or the hand of another sober alcoholic, to always be there. So you said you're an alcoholic. I'm just extending my hand, okay? My daughter was 4. I was hungover, sick as hell. She asked if she made me sick. That was my bottom, and I got sober that day. Good for you. Love pancakes with cooked fruit on them, or banana and peanut butter. He's just going to get blueberry pancakes. Those were his favorite. And hopefully at the end of next month, because now our firewood's paid for. It's taken us all month to pay the, almost $1,100 for our winter's firewood, but it's paid. So next month is going to be near the end of October. We're going to probably do a Costco run. So, hey, Karen, how are you? 22 years of sobriety. If it works if you work it. Oh, excuse me. It works if you really want to stay sober, but it's a lot of work. It works if you work it. I know a lot of people who would get the first 3 steps, right? And it would be fine for a while. But the truth is, there's 12 steps for a reason. And I was lucky enough in my first year of sobriety, or my second year of sobriety, to get into a 28-day program. But it wasn't 28 consecutive days. It was 28 Sundays of intensive 12-step work with a group of women. And it hugely impacted my sobriety. Hugely impacted my sobriety. A sponsor was necessary for me. A sponsor was necessary for me too. A sponsor was necessary for me. The last I heard, she's very frail, but she's still kicking. And I think she celebrated 50 years of sobriety. I think she just celebrated 50 years of sobriety this spring. The 5th step is terrifying. Absolutely. All the steps can be terrifying. But the truth is, it's only terrifying to us. When I did my inventory, it was a big deal. And guess what? I do inventories now all the time. It's called, where's my book? It's called, where'd my journal go? Oh, that tells you I haven't done it enough. I journal all the time. Where did my book go? I bet you I put it up in the journal cupboard. But I've got 1, 2, 3 full journals since I got sober. And I'm working on my latest one, and it's really bugging me that I can't see it here anywhere. That's really bugging me. Now I'm going to have to hunt for it. Wait a minute. Now isn't that... I'll hunt for it. If not, I got empty ones always on hand. And if I have to journal and I can't find my journal, I'll write stuff on something like this, and then I'll just, when I find my journal, I'll staple it in. It's not that big a deal. It really isn't. Did you take it to your room to write in? It is a moral inventory, not a immoral inventory. You're right, Wendy. No, I sit right here and journal. I had a long, I didn't journal. I've been journaling since I was like 14, right? And I had a beautiful satin covered Chinese embroidered journal that my brother gave me. And I had 5 years worth of stuff in that because it was free handwriting, right? There was no dates or anything, except the ones I wrote in. And when Howie and I first moved in together, he found my journal. This is, now remember, this is back in the days of insecurity and alcoholism in a new relationship. Okay. And he read my journal while I was at bingo. And when I came home, it was ripped to shreds. And it took me a long time to trust again, to be able to write, even in sobriety. It took me a few years of sobriety to actually journal on a regular basis. That is going to drive, hang on a second. It's going to drive me batshit crazy if I don't find it. Oh, I found a puff. So yeah, and the one beautiful thing about journaling, oh, there it is. I didn't look in the back of the drawer. See, if this is just a book that I ended up putting a cover on with paper with construction paper, and this one's full. That one's full. That one's half full. I still got a few that are empty or half empty. So, yeah, that was a fear. But once Howie and I, because Howie went through the same 28 group sessions with the men. He did it twice. And that I credit that with our contented sobriety today, because I haven't been to a meeting in years. I'm going to say it. I have not been to a meeting in years. The last meeting I went to was with Wendy, and the last meeting I went to was probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago. Oh God, it was pre-pandemic. So, but the truth is, if I want to, it's always there, you know? And my sponsor made me look up words that I didn't understand. Well, there you go, right? See, fear is my dad used to say, you have nothing to fear but fear itself. And what he meant, and it took me a long time to learn that, because I'm a very literal person. So I didn't understand the double meaning, like the meaning. And what it meant to what I found, I ended up figuring out, and my daddy, always here, right here, looking after me, was that we allow fear to immobilize us sometimes. And that is the true fear. If you allow fear to immobilize you, then fear itself is your enemy, right? It's been 2 years for me because the meetings are 1 hour away and they only have 3 meetings a day. And I'm used to meetings all day. Well, you know what? Maybe we could start an online group. And I roll my eyes, I cross my eyes, because it's a lot of work doing a group. But hey, Shanty. Hey, Susan Fain. Maybe we could start an online, let me leave it with me. Because if I can do it through, I have Discord. So I don't know if we can, yeah, I have Discord, and I don't know how many people you can do on Discord, but we could FaceTime on Discord. And it could be, I'm pretty sure there could be multiple people. I'll ask Briar. He knows more than I do, right? You need one for sugar sober. You know what, Joe Mama? Maybe this whole live stream is the creator, my higher power, poking me, saying you've extended the hand. Now what? Right? I gotta listen, right? Howie, what do you think of me starting like an online group, AA group for friends? Like my friend, we've been having a conversation, and some people are talking about their own needs. Never mind. What? No. We wouldn't call it that, but we would, maybe we could call it something like Sobriety Matters or something, right? But I mean, we could get together on Discord and have I think I can have several people.
Sure. As long as everyone abides by the principles.
Yeah, and it'll be unlisted.
Yeah, why not?
Okay, I think
anytime 2 members or more gather is considered an AA meeting.
Anytime, this could be considered an AA meeting. Okay, anytime 2 or more people get together in the name of supporting each other in sobriety, it's a meeting. We don't have to call it AA, but we can use the principles of that program, and we can make it private. Maybe a second Patreon account or something. No, that would mean people would have to pay, and that's not right. But I mean, we could do something with Discord. Zoom meetings are well structured. Just a suggestion. I'm glad I chimed into the group. It's probably what I needed as well. Well, yeah, me too, Linnell. Me too. And so is Wendy. I'm sorry, Wendy. I keep outing you. Okay. Well, Zoom isn't Skype. What is Zoom? I'll have to look at it. And we can make it closed and free. Okay. Well, I'm going to look into this. Because what a closed discussion group is kind of like, this is a live discussion group. That means everybody's welcome, right? I don't call it AA, but it's the loving vibrations. But we could have a closed discussion group with people who want to, need the help. And maybe, just maybe, I need it too, right? So, you know what, Kathy? I didn't get to 415. Where is it? Where's my picture? Nope, that's not it. I have a picture here of me somewhere. It's never far away, that's for sure. Except my desk is an absolute mess. I did not get to 415 pounds because I didn't like to eat. Now I've had gastric bypass surgery in 2005, and I dropped about 147 pounds, and then I got sick and started to gain weight again because my system kind of went into you're not allowed to lose any more weight because you're in starvation mode and now you're sick, right? And it's been a struggle ever since, right? So they made the 12 principles so no one strangles each other. That's why what my friend used to, they said they used the 12 steps to get us sober and the 12 traditions to keep us from tearing each other apart within. School okay. Oh, you love the throwback video? Oh, well, we were talking about it when I was snapping beans, and someone said, yeah, re-put it out there. Because I got over 4,000 videos on our Half Acre Homestead, and not everybody gets it when I say If you have a question for me, like, have you ever canned pumpkin? Have you ever done this? Have you ever done that? Have you ever made a video on this? Go to Google. Google in our half-acre homestead carrots or cake, or you know what I mean? And it will take you directly to my channel, directly to a list of videos of all of that in there. So I think you would love it. It's amazing. Okay, well, we'll look into that. I will look into it, and I'll talk to Howie about it, because, you know, and if I do this, it's not going to happen every day. It's going to be like once a week, right? I would be happy to help. As a person who lived with an alcoholic for 38 years, maybe things that we learn together would help somebody else. And I'm food addicted, no doubt. Okay, so we can't call it AA because we're going to be using the principle. We're going to be using the principles of AA, but we can use Al-Anon as well. We can use the principles of Al-Anon. I've been to Al-Anon. I even have books on Overeaters Anonymous. So I honestly think I even have chips I can mail out, because the last meeting we had closed because it was just me and Howie. And we couldn't just keep tying up every Friday night locally. So, yeah, I think, you know, we've got Loving Vibrations live. Maybe we'll have Loving Vibrations in a group setting on Zoom. And it will be private and closed so that people can feel safe, because what is said there will stay there. It had better, right? Hi, Wanda. Howie, we could do Zoom meetings. Well, we're talking, and there's people with food issues and folks that have lived with alcoholics, and we could do all of the Overeaters, the Al-Anon. We could use all the principles and just call it, you know, Loving Vibrations closed meeting or whatever. Yeah. Okay. We got all the books. We got all the books. Hey, Rosie. How's it going? I would be happy. Okay. So anyway, I'm sorry if we bored people who don't have these issues. Not everyone is, you know, like what I have learned, now it goes right back to forgiveness. Okay. I did a Rumble video on Justin Trudeau on Late Night with Stephen Colbert. And I was disgusted. I couldn't even watch the whole interview. I could not watch the whole interview. And I did a reaction video. And I had to do it 3 times because I must have looked like a frothing at the mouth idiot, right? Because I get Trudeau triggered Tourette's. But somebody came in and said something along the lines of, well, if you think another politician's going to solve the problem, you know, you're putting your head in the sand kind of thing, and told me to not give myself a heart attack, that I should go hit the fucking gym and all that stuff, right? And I said, never once did I say another politician is going to fix this problem. But the government in place has to change. That's what I basically meant, right? And I said, and as for the gym comment, how very rude. I don't let that shit bother me anymore. Sometimes it does for a split second, but if I allow myself, my emotions can devolve back to 10 years ago when I started going down rabbit holes and sounding like an insane, crazy ranting lady. Yeah, I still rant occasionally, but that's what I use Rumble for, right? And everything I say is always only my opinion. I ask people to do their own research, right? I'm not that way, Ninja. I hate Brussels sprouts and rhubarb. What? Never met a food I didn't like. I love Brussels sprouts. Ew. I remember when I was on a diet, when I was living at my brother's place, and I was on a 1,500 calorie diet. Now, I was working in a machine shop, a screw machine business. So I was on my feet and toting pails of steel and everything. I was losing 5 pounds a week because I would come home from work and I would go for a 5-mile ride on the exercise bike with headphones on. Yes, they were great big ones and they were plugged into a tape deck. Yeah, it was that long ago. But, and then on Wednesdays, me and my cousin Linda and Debbie, we would go to Pape Center. And this one, I lived in Toronto. We'd go to Pape Center and we would do an aerobics class. And that tells you how old it is. And then we would go do the public swimming afterwards. So I was like, boom, 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 boom. But one of my foods, when I started counting the calories, when I found out that a plate of Brussels sprouts was so much more filling than a pork chop and a potato and some Brussels sprouts, I ate the plate of Brussels sprouts. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, you know? Yeah, me too. Me too, Liz. Brussels sprout. Well, see, that's something I've learned new, the Brussels sprouts and bacon. So I'm going to try that one more time on Howie, maybe for Thanksgiving. I know one thing's for sure. Nan and Karen are coming up for Thanksgiving. And if Briar has that weekend off, he's going to come home for Thanksgiving. I've got a turkey. I'm going to get me some Brussels sprouts. I'm pretty sure I'm the only one who's going to eat them because I know Karen won't, right? What's that? What happened? What happened, Rosie? Someone slashed my tire and I barely made it home. Oh my God. Did you report it to your insurance? Well, if you cut the bottoms and take the outer leaves off and you cut them in half and you fry, now everything is made better. Think about this with bacon and onions, right? Ads are running shortly for some viewers. So when this is done, I will, we'll come back and we'll close. But you slice them in half and you fry bacon till it's almost crispy, and then onions, and you take them out and you lay all the Brussels sprouts down in that bacon grease. You put a lid on that, and you just kind of steam them and saute them in the bacon grease, and then you throw the bacon and the onions back in. And you stir it all up, put it in a dish, and put it on the table. Yeah, I'm having Brussels sprouts for Thanksgiving. Those are so good in my house, we call them stinky feet. Stinky feet? Yes, they're the ones I lost at the racetrack. Howie's mom and his sister. Insurance won't pay for it since the tire costs $75. Oh my goodness. Seymour High School was water aerobics once a week. Has water aerobics once a week. Awesome. Foil on the campfire. All right. Well, listen, folks. I will keep you posted. I'm going to look into doing a group, but I have to really time myself really well. I have plans on taking a good portion of this winter, at least one day a week, in front of my window on my power lift chair, watching old movies and quilting. I've made that promise to myself without working that day. So I have recipes for Brussels sprouts that I should try, but my friend that's staying with me is highly allergic to cabbage and anything that is in the Brassic family, the cabbage family, which is broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, all that kind of stuff. What's going on, Joe? What did I miss? While everyone is here, could I ask for prayers as Scott starts chemo on Tuesday? Yeah, that was a short remission, wasn't it? because it's metastasized. So, yes, for all those who care to, please help me close with a spiritual blessing, because I got to go downstairs and film what Howie's done. And I'm going to put that on Life with the Wolfies. But please help. Now, you don't have to stay if you don't want to. Not everybody has a faith, and not everybody's faith, who does have faith, jives with ours. So this is one of the things I learned, okay? Your faith, all you have to do is lean on your faith. And I lean on mine. And whatever the prayer is, you take what you want and leave the rest. Okay? Here we go. Let's do some deep breathing to clean out our lungs. Hold. Hey, God, creator, source, you know. Gracie just interrupted my thought. She's whining behind me with toys because Daddy's in the house. Hey, God. I'm not sure if I got the message right or not today, God, but I think there was a lot of things, a lot of healing things going on today. And I think I got the poke. And let me know if that's true, because if so, I will act on it. And thank you, God, for bringing us together, and for people feeling safe enough to share their demons, right? And now there's folks that have, been in the path of the hurricane. There's folks that have passed. There's folks whose homes have been destroyed. We're praying, we're lifting all those people up, all the people that were in the path and have had issues and power outages and things and destruction in the path of Hurricane Helen. We lift those people up to you, God. Well, God, we lift all the people that are sick, alone, neglected, rejected, addicted. God, we lift all of those people up to you. And last but not least, all of our friends and family, and those we don't know yet that are friends and family, who are struggling and are sick, or looking after somebody that's sick, or battling nasty terminal illnesses. Please, God, we lift all of these people up to you. May the light of your healing love pour down upon us, filling us and helping us to put one foot in front of the other today, because that's what we have, is today. All the battle, anybody can face the battles of just one day. So God, thank you for today. And all my friends and family here. Amen. Namaste. Peace be with you. Marry me, blessed be. Walk in the shining light of God's love. Miigwech. Doesn't matter the words. What matters is the intention and love behind them. Don't forget, just because I don't see you doesn't mean my heart doesn't see you. I love you, and until we meet again for another Loving Vibrations live stream, take care. God bless. Mwah! And as for the meeting thing, leave it with me. It might take a few weeks because I'm still in harvest mode. Okay? Take care. God bless everybody.